Thanks to those joining me live, to those that be joining me on archive, DStyleBoxing here. If you're listening on archive, leave a comment and tell me what you think. And by the way, thumbs up the video. Take a second, thumbs up the video. All right. Let's see here. Let's do a sound check really quick. Let's see if the sound works before I start blabbering about. Right. All right. Looks like it sounds good so far. Shout out to Haplotype. All right. Um, doing a sound check for me. All right. There we go. I have to talk about some of the comments that I got in my last video. I just had to talk about it. Had to address a couple things. Let me pull up this quick chat here. Just bear with me. There we go. All right. Looks like we're good. Looks like the sound is good. And I had a couple people live over there. I do apologize for the sound going off. All right. Check it. Check it out. Look. I did want to address some of the comments, as I mentioned. Some of these comments just have to be addressed, right? One comment, right? You know what happens when you already have like this biased view and you can't quite, go after something that I specifically said. You can't attack the arguments I made. So you resort to some bogus, dumb, argument. So I saw somebody put, and somebody said, well, everything Hatman said made sense. Only a Wilder fanboy, all right, could not see that. Pretty much that's what the comment said. Like, I have to be a Deontay Wilder fanboy. Now, you can look through the history of my channel, and you can ask people that have been subscribed to me for a long time. I am so far away from being a Wilder fanboy, right? In fact, I'm not a fanboy for any fighter. No fighter in the history of this sport has ever been above criticism, okay, when it comes to me and this channel. Nobody's above criticism, guys. Not one person. Not one fighter, and definitely no promoter, okay, no manager, nothing like that. Nobody escapes criticism from DStyleBoxing. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. It will never happen, right? As simple as that. I'm also getting several people telling me that the $50 million offer, like, I'm surprised. I thought we were past this, but apparently we're not. That the $50 million offer apparently never existed. It's just not true. It didn't exist. Do they cite anything? Do they cite facts? Okay, do they pick apart my argument? No, they just say it like a matter of fact. Oh, no, there was never $50 million. No, there was. There was $50 million. The $50 million offer was real, right? Now, of course, the stipulation behind the $50 million offer was that the fight had to be in the U.S., right? And the $50 million offer, by the way, wasn't just something random pulled out of thin air. This was something that Anthony Joshua himself requested. Anthony Joshua requested the $50 million. Nobody forced Anthony Joshua, okay, to do otherwise. No, nobody did that. The $50 million offer was something that he asked for, so they said, okay, we got the money. And then Eddie Hearn said, well, we need proof of funds, he said. That is the stupidest thing ever said, right? Because first of all, when you drop the contract, okay, that guarantee is going to be put in place. I mean, this idea that somebody could just make that up And it's not just, if you don't want to take Deontay Wilder's word for it, okay. You don't want to take his team's word for it, okay, let's get a neutral party then. The president of Showtime Sports confirmed that was real. Now, if you want to argue, right, because Hearn and Joshua got away from the 50 million, right? Joshua started saying things like, well, I'm not going to sell my soul, and, I'm not going to, take the money to fight in the U.S. My fans deserve. I fight for the fans. That's what I fight for. I don't fight for the money and all this other bullshit, right? I'm still getting people telling me that there was never a $50 million offer. That's still a thing? When there obviously was, and just doubling down and telling me that, well, there wasn't. No, there was an offer. No, there wasn't. No, there was. Look, no, there wasn't. You have to be a fanboy to believe that. Like, it's just, that's not an argument. That's not intelligent, right? That's not a thing. That's stupid. Okay? Denying reality just means that you live in a fantasy world, right? It's not a factual argument. There was a $50 million deal, and of course, stipulation is that the fight would have to be in America, and the reality is that's the biggest fight purse ever turned down in heavyweight history. Those are just facts, right? Now, if you want to insert your opinion and say you're okay with that and you don't have a problem with it, then that's another story altogether. But if we can't even agree on basic facts, then what the hell am I doing? I'm just wasting my breath. That's all I'm doing. But DStyle is not interested in wasting his breath, okay? It's not really a waste of time when you're telling the truth. No, I am not a Deontay Wilder fanboy, right? For those that don't know, before the $50 million offer was even presented, did I make arguments that the fight could be in the U.S. and would make more money here? Absolutely, because that's just true. Right? Fights make more money in the U.S. Right? Now, that was my presupposition. Now, once the $50 million came to play, it just proved my point. That's all that did. But I also said that if the fight happens in the UK, then fine, then do it in the UK. But people are just constantly just ignoring many things, all right? When Parker got a 33% of the purse, nobody, even blinked an eye about that. Well, Parker was a reigning champion. That's true. It was a unification, so he should get that percentage. Well, that's true. But nobody was talking about how much Parker was making before he fought Joshua, and he shouldn't get a percentage. He should get a flat fee. Nobody talked about that then. Only when we're talking about Deontay Wilder. And I have to repeat something Joe Habib said because it's absolutely true, right? It's 100% true. And this is what he said. One side declined the best offer of all time when it comes to heavyweight history. He absolutely declined the offer. On the other side declined one of the worst offers ever presented, okay, for a heavyweight unification fight. But everybody wants to point at the side turning down the worst offer ever and blame them. You still have people making videos about how Eddie Hearn said that people should pressure Wilder to take the fight with Joshua. What do you mean pressure him? You have one guy literally chasing the other guy. The one doing the chasing is Wilder. So Hatman was right about one thing. Hatman Strikes Back is right about one thing. Or he was right about one thing. Wilder is chasing a chicken. Because, he said he comes off as a chicken chasing, blah, 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 right? Well, he is chicken chasing. He's chasing that chicken called AJ Anthony Joshua from the UK. That didn't hit me when I did the video. It didn't come to me, but it's absolutely true. He has been chasing this chicken around ever since Joshua won the belt from Klitschko in a which was a vacated belt, by the way, that he unified with. But nonetheless, he's been chasing this chicken around. He's been going all over trying to chase this guy. But Eddie Hearn and Joshua, see, for a while I kept saying, oh, Eddie Hearn. But at some point, yes, I have to point out how Eddie Hearn is a disgrace, and he has been problematic in making this fight happen. Look, from Eddie Hearn's perspective, Eddie Hearn is doing what's right for Eddie Hearn, all right? Eddie Hearn is making the business moves that he feels are best for Eddie Hearn, right? Eddie Hearn and Joshua at some point down the line, more than likely, are going to have a fallout, right? And a lot of the truth is going to come out. It's going to happen at one point. It always happens. Look at Pacquiao's having a fallout with Arum right now. So at some point, a lot of this stuff is going to come out. So you can play deny. You could start play pretend. You could do all this stuff. It's going to come out at some point. To me, it's obvious. Actions speak louder than words. Everybody thinks like no one has ever said, I'm not going to fight that guy because I'm scared. I'm not going to fight that guy because I'm just not ready to fight him yet. No promoter is ever going to say, Eddie Hearn is not going to come out and say, well, I don't want Joshua to fight this guy because I think he's going to knock him out, or I fear that he might knock him out, or it's going to cost me a lot of money. It doesn't make business sense for me. Okay, I'm going to lose money if we do this, that, and third, and I'm in the business for me. He's not going to come out and say that. So people are like, well, that's not what Eddie Hearn said. Well, he's not going to say that, right? He's just not going to say it. When, like, could you imagine that that's the way they solve murders? Hey, so what happened here? Well, I don't know. Husband and wife are alone in the house. Wife got shot. So is he a primary suspect? Nah, I mean, he said he didn't do it. Oh, so all right. So we're not even going to investigate. Well, we're not going to start, gathering the evidence here because he said he didn't do it. Which means either he's being truthful, he didn't do it, or he's lying, right? What are promoters known for doing? Promoters are known for lying. Promoters are blithering liars. That's what promoters are. Right? Only a promoter would say something that, well, yesterday I was lying, today I'm telling the truth. So I'm only going to place so much blame on Hearn. Hearn is my enemy because I'm a boxing fan and I want to see the best possible fights. I want to see Wilder versus Joshua, and Eddie Hearn, okay, is an obstacle on the way of that. And I said this about 2 years ago. Anyone who stops the fights I want to see and us boxing fans want to see that would be good for the overall health of the sport is my enemy. They will be called out on this channel. But just because he's my damn enemy, right, because of that reason, it doesn't mean that I don't understand. Because, oh, believe me, DStyle understands in this case. Okay? DStyle does understand in this case. Look, I know that Eddie Hearn is looking out for Eddie Hearn's survival. He's supposed to do what he's doing. It doesn't mean I don't have to call it out. It doesn't mean he doesn't have to be put in an uncomfortable situation by the media that did their fucking job. Eddie Hearn is doing what's right for Eddie Hearn. That's it. He's a promoter. It's in his nature. He's supposed to do that. But we're supposed to be pulling the other way. That's what we're supposed to be doing as boxing fans. So with that said, there's only so much I could put on Eddie Hearn. Now, I'm guilty of doing this. But for such a long time, what have many of us been doing? Oh, Joshua wants to fight, but Eddie Hearn is keeping the fight from happening. Don't get me wrong. Eddie Hearn has a lot to do with what's going on. He is, in fact, manipulating Joshua, right? But at the end of the day, if I'll say about 40% of the blame goes to Eddie Hearn, 60% of it goes to Joshua. Because Anthony Joshua, if he wanted this fight to happen, it would have happened already. It would have happened already. If he was serious about this fight happening. We have mountains of evidence, all right, that has shown Joshua being very suspect at the very least. And we could go back and we could look at these things. He's already insinuated, if not flat out even said at times, that he's going to make Deontay Wilder wait because he has nothing but time. He keeps his language and the way he talks about Wilder compared to other fighters, the way he talks, everything just changes. They banned Deontay Wilder from being at ringside for one of his fights. He wants to be a gentleman when they're close. He wants to talk tough when Wilder's on the other side of the ocean. If he was serious, this fight would have already happened. If we were serious about it, this fight would have already happened. But it hasn't happened yet. And I had to ask myself, well, why hasn't it happened? And we could point and you could say, if you're on AJ's side, you could just formulate the argument to benefit you. If you're Wilder's side, formulate the argument to benefit you. But all I could do is look at the evidence. And the evidence has shown me that AJ does not want this fight. That AJ is scared to make this fight happen. He doesn't want the fight. And if he's not scared, there's a reason why he doesn't want to do it. The only argument is does he just want to wait? Does he want to milk it out? Is he trying to make Wilder get older? Does he want Wilder to have a couple more fights? So you kind of learn more about Wilder's weaknesses? Well, what is it? Whatever it is, he doesn't want the fight right now. And I would respect the guy a lot more if he just came out and just said that. If he just said, look, I just don't want the fight right now. Is that the fight marinate or whatever they want to say? It would still be a duck, but at least I would get off of them. They don't want to have the fight, but they don't want to get blamed for the fight not happening right now. You can't have it both ways. You can, in one hand, want credit for wanting to make the fight happen, but then behind the scenes, not trying to make this fight happen. To me, that is a bunch of horse shit. So yes, Hatman, he has in fact been chicken chasing. He's been chasing this chicken for a while now. The question is, how long should Wilder keep chasing? There's only so many times. Look, Wilder can't win with some people, right? He can't. If he keeps calling the guy out, oh, he's begging. Look at him, he's begging. Look, he's just like he looks like a beggar. If he says nothing, look at him, he's quiet. He has nothing to say. There's nothing he could say. Look at him. If he really wanted to fight, he would have been calling AJ out every day. I know if I wanted to fight, I'd be calling him out every day, right? Like no matter what he does, the guy can't win. And when you point that out, it's, oh, well, you're a fanboy. Oh, well, he's a fanboy, that's why. You know, DStyle's totally. I'm totally a Deontay Wilder fanboy. Is that the best you got? That's it? That's your argument? I'm a fanboy? You're not going to address any of the points I made? Denying that there was a $50 million deal? That's your argument? Why turn out a $50 million deal? There wasn't a $50 million deal. Why? Because you say? So you know more than the president of, of Showtime Sports. You know more. You're there. You're there to see everything, right? Based off of the information that's available to the public, okay, which is the same information you got, I got. Based off of that, it's obvious that there was a $50 million deal. If there was not a $50 million, like if that was a smoking gun, Hearn would have been all over that, okay? Hearn would have been all over that. He's dropped that. He's dropped it. But I'm the fanboy. But I'm the fanboy. Not the people, denying facts and reality, right? That will put themselves in whatever bubble, in whatever fantasy world that suits them to defend their precious AJ. Not them. I'm a fanboy. On this channel, I'm not a fanboy of any fighter. I never have been. This is not a fanboy channel. No fighters beyond criticism here. Not on DStyleBoxing's watch. This channel is not a fanboy channel. I'm sorry to tell you guys. Everything on this channel, okay, is based on merit. And if you can't come at me with merit and just little ad hominems, then I don't know what to tell you. If the best you got is to call me a fanboy when that's not true, then you're just resorting to name calling. And a lot of you seem to believe that this is like a debate. Like I'm debating whether or not, like there is no debate. We don't debate facts. Facts are just what they are. Right? Opinions is what's debated, not facts. Just because you don't understand the facts or just want to deny them doesn't mean there's a debate here, right? It's obvious that Anthony Joshua doesn't want this fight to happen. It's obvious. This is coming from a guy who has said, by the way, right, that if these two were to fight, I honestly believe Anthony Joshua is the better fighter. He would win. I have said that. For the last 2 years, I've been saying that. For the last 2 years, I've said that. For the last, this idea that I'm a fanboy, right? When Wilder was going to go to Russia to fight Povetkin, I had that a 50-50 fight. I felt Povetkin could win. That makes me a fanboy. I mean, you guys can't be this stupid, right? There are just certain facts, leaving opinion aside, that we just can't ignore, right? There's no reason Parker should get better treatment or far better. It's not even a matter of, it's not even a matter of the money sometimes. It's respect. Wilder's team got they got in the negotiating table with Parker's team. They negotiated behind closed doors. They made, that they got the percentage split agreed upon, the whole nine, right? That's not what happened, when they were trying to make this fight with Wilder happen. Eddie Hearn was just busy playing games. Okay? They don't want to make this fight happen. They just don't. They just honestly don't. Look, if Eddie Hearn feels look, because let me say this, right? Now there was a $50 million deal. Let me just make that clear right now. There was. A lot of you guys can keep hiding behind the fact that there wasn't and all that. There was. That's just the reality. Okay, I'm not going to go back and forth with people that deny that there was a $50 million deal, right? But if you feel strongly that there wasn't, if it's not true that Joshua was offered the best deal in heavyweight boxing history, the best deal, with an upside of possibly making even more than that, if you feel that strongly, right, that Wilder and his team and Espinosa, okay, from Showtime Sports, and they all just got together and they made up this big $50 million lie, right? They made it all up, okay? Then this is what I suggest Eddie Hearn does. Then Eddie Hearn should take it to court, right? Because this is disparaging to the heavyweight champion of the world, right? If it's supposedly a lie that $50 million was on the table, right? If it's all not true and it's a big conspiracy to make it look like there was an offer on the table, right? It was all just meant to not make the fight, but make it look like there was the biggest offer in heavyweight history. Then that's going to make Joshua look bad, right? Is it not? He could take him to court for that. He's assassinating his character, right? He's the heavyweight champion of the world. It's bad for his image. It really is. It's real bad for his image. So they should go to court, okay? And if let the facts play out in court. If Eddie Hearn wants, right? And if Joshua wants, and if the facts come out, then the facts will come out, right? You'll easily win the case if there was never $50 million on the table. Because they're going to have to provide proof in court that there was $50 million. Not just that there's $50 million in a bank account. They're going to have to provide the proof. If you're confident that of all the paperwork that was done and all this, right? Affidavits, you name it, everything. If he's so confident and it's a big lie, a big conspiracy, this $50 million lie, they're taken to court for disparaging, the character of the heavyweight champion of the world, for accusing him of not accepting a $50 million deal that he accepted. And we'll see how it goes down in court. Because once the judge looks at the evidence, right, it's going to be a wrap. It's going to be a wrap for Eddie Hearn's ass. No, but it's a lot easier to go online and tell it cheap that it's not true, right? It's a lot easier to just say, oh, it's easy to just type down on YouTube like there wasn't a $50 million deal. LOL. Press enter. Yes, there was. Let me type on my keyboard. There was no $50 million deal. I don't believe that there was a $50 million deal. Come on, there was no $50 million deal. LMAO, enter. Well, just because you typed it down, there wasn't no deal or what? Let me hear some of the quick comments here. Low tap. The only way taking a fight for $50 million would be selling your soul is if Wilder would take your soul, aka knock you out. So he's admitting he lose by saying that. And yes, I do have to question the mental stability of Anthony Joshua when it comes to Wilder. He doesn't want to fight this guy. Does he really believe he could beat this guy? Stan Account says, what's good, DStyle? Copendo 9, we'll do a video about all that tomorrow. The boxing historian sub style. What up to Haplotype as well? Haplotype says he's trying to age. Wilder is closer to slow down age. Bad guy says England won. Gotcha. I know. Fanboys have lost it. Of Joshua anyway. DCB says. And Haplotype says, what's up to historian? Look, at the end of the day, just want to make those points. I do again apologize for my first two brief live streams not working. So I have to do this third try here, right? With that said, that's all I got to say right now. There's nothing left to say. Nothing else I want to say. Right? If Eddie Hearn, okay, and Joshua are victims of a fake offer that never existed, right? If it's not true that there was if it's true that there was never a $50 million offer on the table, and the Wilder's team is lying about it and telling the whole world that they turned down that offer, all right, you have a case in court if it's true. Take it to court. Now, we all know they don't have a case. Okay, we all know that. All right? Okay, AJ's squad knows that. His fans know that. Everybody knows that. AJ's acting like Spinks versus Tyson's Haplotype. I don't know if it's that bad. Okay, Hearn pulled a Jada mind trick to get someone to turn down a $50 million deal, or the guy doesn't want to fight. Or combination of both, right? But what I am done doing is using Eddie Hearn as a scapegoat for Anthony Joshua. Doesn't mean we're not going to blame Eddie Hearn or call Eddie Hearn out when he says blatant lies. Doesn't mean we're not going to blame Eddie Hearn for being a barrier to making this fight happen. Eddie Hearn is still going to get criticized. However, I'm not going to use Eddie Hearn, right, to justify Anthony Joshua's actions, right? Or non-actions. From now on, Anthony Joshua needs to get blamed for this fight not happening. You guys notice how everybody uses Eddie Hearn as a reason, right? And again, there's some blame to be placed there. When it comes to Wilder, nobody blames like Wilder's promoter. Okay, nobody blames like Al Heyman. Okay, they just blame Wilder. It's all Wilder's fault, right? They're resorting to all this nonsense like, oh, no, because Wilder's dumb. He's a hillbilly. He's this. He's that. Okay, you can resort to whatever you want. But at the end of the day, the facts show me what that one guy, and shout out to Joe Hobie, by the way, but one guy turned down the best offer in the history of heavyweight boxing. One guy did that. The best guarantee in the history of heavyweight boxing. One guy turned down one of the shittiest deals ever presented for somebody, okay, for a unification fight. That's where we are right now. That's where we are. Okay? And we have reached this volatile situation for many reasons. But I'm not going to keep playing this game. I'm still seeing people playing this middle game, right? Oh, come on. Just blame. It's the fault of both sides, right? Oh, both sides are being ridiculous. No. One side really wants to make this fight happen, and the other side doesn't. It is not equal. It's not even. It's not even, Steven. There's nothing. It's not. It's not even close. It just isn't. I'm not saying that because I'm siding with one group or the other. I'm not saying that because I'm this, I'm that. I'm just saying that because that's what the facts show me. When the facts show me otherwise, right, then we'll talk then. But as of right now, I am telling you that Eddie Hearn does not want to make this fight happen. He doesn't want it to happen. And Anthony Joshua doesn't either. Because no matter how bad Eddie Hearn doesn't want it, if Joshua told him, no, make this damn fight happen, it would have happened. Okay? That's just the reality. If you guys don't want to accept that reality, that is on you. That's not on me. I'm not going to take blame for you not accepting a reality. So we have a bunch of people just flat out lying and changing their tune and parroting whatever Eddie Hearn says. All right. And then we have some people just being in the middle. Oh, it's just both sides. Oh, it's both sides. No, it's not both sides. It's at this. I'm a boxing fan. I want to see the fight. Who am I going to side with? The side that wants to make the fight happen, or the ones that don't want to make the fight happen? Like, use your common sense. Who do you think I'm going to side with? If the roles were reversed, and again, I don't want to hear this bullshit anymore. People call me a fanboy. People bring up the LDBC. I never once mentioned the LDBC when I make that Hatman video. Never once. People still brought him up. Oh, because it's both sides. Because the LDBC is doing this, so Hatman had to do that. Like what? What does that even mean? What does that have to do with this fight not happening? Oh, because they said some mean words to Eddie Hearn and Joshua? This is boxing. Spare me all the mean words. Okay? Oh, but they're not being nice. They're making fun of AJ, and they're saying they're calling him that he's juicy and that he's on steroids and he's not that good and all this nonsense. Okay, all this nonsense I'm hearing, all this crying. Oh, but so that's why, Hatman is acting that way. It's like, are you kidding me? You can't make this shit up. I don't have to point fingers. I just have to look at the facts. That's all I have to do. Right? When it comes time to criticize a fighter, I'll criticize the fighter. I don't care. Right? No fighter's above criticism. None. When the time comes to criticize Wilder, I'll criticize him. Right? But right now, when we're talking about this topic, it's not even close. Like, it just isn't. Stop playing the middle. There's a lot of you out there still playing the middle ground. There is no middle ground. Here's my equation. X equals I want to see the fight. Okay? And that's it. You don't have to be a mathematician to figure that one out. And that's it. One side doesn't want to make the fight, the other side does. Simple as that. If AJ wants people to shut up and stop accusing him of taking steroids and stop accusing him of being scared, if he doesn't want to be accused of turning down the biggest deal in heavyweight history, he shouldn't turn down the biggest deal in heavyweight history. If he doesn't want people to call him a coward and all this stuff, there's only one way to shut people up. Sign a fight. Sign a contract, okay? Get in the damn ring. You knock Wilder out, you shut everybody up. It's as simple as that, right? In boxing, they settle it in the ring. That's where they settle shit. Like when there's an argument, you've had enough, and you roll up your sleeves, and you want to take this outside? AJ could, not necessarily, he could take it to the ring. He could settle it. He could shut everybody up there. He could knock Wilder out. Then he could post-fight press conference say, "Yeah, everybody said I was scared of this guy. Look at me. I easily dispatched of him and knocking them out in 2 rounds. It was easy, like I said it was." And then that's it. And you come out on top. But he has to believe he can do it. That's the only way it's going to stop. If you don't want, but they're saying mean things about Joshua. Too fucking bad. Right? People have been saying mean things about fighters that don't want to take fights for a very, very long time. Now, I'm not saying there isn't a, obviously, yes, there's lines you could cross and stuff like that, right? Like saying racist shit. Of course, there's lines you could cross, right? But calling somebody a coward, all right? Because, it comes with the territory. Big fucking deal, right? So excusing, what, like there's people that are agreeing with me with what I'm saying about Hatman, but they justify it somehow because, well, the LDBC is making him do it. I mean, that's what they're saying. This is stupid. They're making him do it, so they have control over him or something, or what? I mean, usually I would feel this way, but because of the LDBC, I need to do this. Like, this is stupid. Like, honestly. Hatman is obviously being a fanboy. End the story, right? You have to bring shit that I didn't even talk about up. And if you want to attack the things I'm saying, do it. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Just call me a fanboy isn't winning an argument, right? That's just an emotional response. The very thing you guys are criticizing Wilder of being. You're being emotional in your response. And here we go. Mac Middens 585. Again, look at this. There was no deal. What did I tell you about the LOL? They put LOL because they think if they type LOL, it gives more credence to what they're saying. Since when the B side has made an A side an offer and the B side isn't a pay-per-view fighter, fuck out of here, man. I don't know. I don't know exactly what his point is. There's no rule that a B side can offer an A side a deal. There's no rule about that. That's made up. Anybody could make anybody a deal. Anybody could make anybody a deal, right? But this idea that if one side gets more money, like A side, B side, all that aside, right? All that is like brand new shit. That's all that is, right? Mayweather started that whole A side, B side. This is all boxing is, right? You see, there was a day they just called it the lion's share, right? Two fighters agree to a fight. There's a purse, and one fighter gets if it's not 50-50, one fighter gets the lion's share of the pot because he's the bigger draw or whatever, right? Now there's other elements to that. It doesn't just come down to that. You having the title is relevant. How much does the public want to see that fight is relevant. How good is one fighter negotiation is relevant. There's a lot of relevant facts here. But the reality is, yes, anyone can send a deal. All right, anybody. Who is the A side? Klitschko or Povetkin? Klitschko, right? Everybody knows that. Povetkin's promoter made a deal, okay? They outbid, there was a purse bid, by the way. They outbid the Klitschko promoter, right? And the fight happened in Moscow. And the purse that was offered was a deal offered by them. I could come out with many examples of the quote-unquote B side, which is, again, just terminologies that people are just making up. Find me somewhere in any rule book whatsoever that the B side, quote unquote, cannot make a deal to the quote unquote A side. That rule doesn't exist. There is no such rule. Okay, all that's a bunch of horse shit. Right? Anybody can make a deal to anybody. The other side doesn't have to take it, but anybody can make a deal. It's not the A side just makes deals and the B side just shuts up about it. That's not the way it works. I just gave you an example of it happening, and that was just off the cuff. There you go. Careful with the things you say. What you say will be used against you on DStyle's channel. Okay? Based off of what you said, your statement's already been proven false. This idea that the quote-unquote B-side can make an offer. Anybody can make an offer to anybody, right? Anybody. That's just the truth. Mayweather was in the quote-unquote B-side when he was calling out De La Hoya. He was in the B-side. So this idea that you can't call somebody out if you're the quote-unquote B-side, all that's horseshit, okay? A-side, B-side, move that shit out of the way, okay? That there is a purse, okay? And they usually one side gets the lion's share or one side agrees to a flat fee, right? Depending on the situation. And that's it, right? A-side, B-side. Okay, fine. He's the A-side. It'll be Joshua versus Wilder. Big fucking deal. That's what it'll say on the poster, okay? Even though in the U.S., it's just say Wilder Joshua because nobody knows Joshua in the U.S., right? That's just true. I mean, Clarissa, shout out to Blood Boxing, but when Clarissa Shields is getting higher ratings than Anthony Joshua, I mean, that is abysmal. And I don't want to hear this, well, he's not from the U.S. I mean, Klitschko was okay, you know, the champ, right? When Vitaly and Vladimir were champions, they would get 1 million viewers at the least. At some point, Vitaly got 2 million. So I don't want to hear this whole, because they, immediately making excuses. And guess what? They fought in the afternoons too. And guess what? They actually came to the States to fight, okay, which is what most fighters do. Okay, but Joshua wants to fight in the UK for the rest of his life. He doesn't want to leave the UK. He fought in the Olympics in the UK. His debut was in the UK. His last fight was in the UK. All the fights are going to be in the UK. Even if there's more money outside, he's going to stay in the UK because the UK is where it's at, even though that's not true. Okay, fine. This whole A-side, B-side is confusing a lot of individuals. It really is. All right? People are getting confused with the A-side, B-side shit. It's confusing people. But how could he, all right, let me make this clear, okay? So let me get this straight. So there was a $50 million offer, right? Which, if I use your logic, right, only the A-side can call the shots, you say. Okay. We have it on video where what you call the A-side, Joshua saying that if they could give him $50 million guaranteed, they could make the fight 50-50. Right? That's what he said out of his own mouth. Like, if they believe it's a $100 million fight, give me $50 million guaranteed and I'll fight you. That's what he said. They said, okay, we got the money. But in order for us to give you that money that you are demanding, the fight has to happen in the States because the States, right, the United States of America is the A side over every other country. All right, that's just the truth. So since the U.S. is the A side over the B side England, there's just more money here. Okay, that's just the truth, right? And the only way that money was feasible and guaranteed to him was if it was here, right? So this idea that, they can't make the offer because only the A side makes the offers. That's just not true. That statement isn't true. All right? B sides have, in fact, demanded more money in the past. Okay? So Mayweather, as we know, after the De La Hoya fight was always the A side, right? We all know that. When he was going to fight Marcos Maidana, you don't think Marcos Maidana negotiated on money? Hell, when Mayweather didn't want Maidana to wear his gloves, his MX gloves, Maidana's side said, well, if you don't want me to wear my gloves, you got to pay me for that. Mayweather forked up millions for that. All right? Anybody can make an offer. That was literally an offer. Now, I forgot the amount. I think it was 1.5 million, but I forgot. But hey, you don't want me to wear those gloves? I'll make this deal with you. Let's sign right now. that I'll get this many million, and then I'll fight with the gloves you want me to wear. That's literally a negotiation. And the Bside made that offer. Everybody can make offers. This whole A side, B side, A side, B side. Oh, but he's the A side. He's the B side. If you're an A side, you could do this. If you're a B side, you don't get to do this. All that's horseshit. Okay, that is a bunch of fucking manure, is what it is. Okay. Hopkins wasn't the A side for the Trinidad fight. He had demands. He had the belt as well, but he had demands. He said, no, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, whatever it was. When he did the De La Hoya fight, he had demands. He made sure he got paid. He made sure he got a good deal. And if for whatever reason, they pulled an Eddie Hearn, well, come on, it's more than you've ever made. Hey, man, you got to look at the purse for how much is this event going to make? I want to get, compensated for that. That's just the truth. By the way, if you guys can let me know, when did you get notified about this video, by the way? I want to know. Because when I did the first one, like 10 people were on immediately. On this one, it took a minute for 10 people to come on. So I don't know how long the notification took. I am getting tired of YouTube not notifying people on time. And I have been getting the private messages. I know. I don't know what you guys want me to do. I don't know. Okay. If you click on the bell, it should notify you right away. But I don't know. Okay, McMiddin's saying who are the investors and where's the money coming from? And, at the end of the day, they got the money. All right? All this has been talked about. You don't think Al Heyman has the money or what? You don't think Showtime is going to put in some of that money? Who are the investors? Well, what do you think Showtime is in the business for? This is unbelievable. You could make that argument for any fight that's ever been proposed. Ever. Right? You could make, honestly, you could make that argument for anything. Oh, how do we know that money is real? Who's the investors behind that money? What are you talking about? They didn't get a group of people to put the money together. They didn't do like like they do in church where they pass the basket around. That's not what happened. This is unbelievable. And then plus, what do you care how they got the money? Who cares? The money was there. And if they're look again, I'll say it again. If Eddie Hearn is adamant, I haven't heard Eddie Hearn. I'm hearing a lot of, AJ defenders say this, but I haven't heard AJ and Eddie Hearn have dropped it. Okay. I mean, they went on the whole, I fight for my fans. I'm not going to sell my soul for $50 million. And okay, they completely changed the topic. All right. If you guys are adamant that this deal was just a fabricated deal, all right, which is insane on its own, right? It was a fake deal, right? If that's true, right, you guys do know that it is illegal to have a fighter fight for prize money and not pay them, right, the money that they're owed, meaning in the contract, it would say that he's going to get a guaranteed $50 million deal. And Joshua would get that money, right? If he doesn't get that money, all right, there's going to be consequences for that, all right? Like, do you guys not understand that nobody's playing around here? Showtime isn't in the business of protecting Wilder. Okay, that's not. Why would Showtime put their whole reputation on the line for a fighter that barely gets 800,000 views? All right. None of these two fighters are major pay-per-view draws. Why would they put their reputation on the line for that? But let's say it's true. Let's say it's all fabricated, right? And by all means, Eddie Hearn could take this to court. right? Along with Joshua, defamation of character, and we could see him in court. Because it is defamation of character since they're saying he turned down according to some of you guys, a fictitious $50 million deal. We could take it to court if you guys want. If you guys want to go that far, then show me. I want to see the documents. Show me the documents. Show me the investors. Okay, let's take it to court then. If they're confident that it's a bogus deal, they will take it to court. And if it's a bogus deal, believe me, they'll win a pretty good settlement. And it will be reported all over the place. Oh, look, there was a settlement, or, Wilder's people didn't show up for court, or whatever the case is, right? But they're not going to do that. You guys want to go that route. Like you're asking me, a YouTube channel, to provide it with documents and all this other shit, right? You guys do know that Eddie Hearn and Joshua could go that route, okay, in a legal sense. You guys know that, right? And they could take this to court for defamation of character. Because the heavyweight champion of the world is being called a pussy for turning down this deal. In essence, it'll be worded better than that in court, but you get what I'm saying. So if you want all that, by all means, Eddie Hearn could take it to court. Because apparently you guys believe that this is all a fabrication, that there's no way this money could have been presented. There's no way Wilder, you guys make it sound like Wilder was out in the street, begging for money, and he collected $50 million. Like if it happened that way and you don't see it happening. It's just, this shit's stupid. Like if Al Heyman, okay, because Al Heyman is known for just not getting fighters paid, right? Like he's just known for that to you, or what? Like Al Heyman is just known for making up deals, Like when Al Heyman's side said, hey, we could guarantee Conor McGregor this. Did he get the money? Was a bunch of bitching and moaning about how to get the money. Where are the investors from? Where's this? Where's that? There are minds out there that know that this fight would make big money in the U.S. and they're willing to take the risk. What the fuck you care? But if you guys are adamant, because you're asking a YouTube channel for something that I cannot provide you. You know I don't have the documents in front of me, and neither do you, right? Like, I can't tell, oh, yeah, I know that such and such invested, and, oh, I know that this guy invested, and, I don't know that. So not like you guys, I'm not going to just sit here and lie. Okay, that's not what I'm in business of. I don't want to lie to people. I'll be truthful. I could just look at the circumstantial evidence for what it is. It would be completely unprecedented for a fighter, his promoter, his manager, his advisor, and Showtime all together just making up a fabricated deal. Just because, they want, this is classic projection. You're basically saying that they made up this fake deal because they don't want the fight to happen, but they don't want to get blamed for it not happening. When in reality, it's Eddie Hearn and Joshua doing that. This is crazy. But if Eddie Hearn is adamant, if they want to go to court, they can go to court. If it's true that it's all bullshit, that money was never there. Okay, they couldn't have come up with the money. It just couldn't have happened. If Joshua would have agreed to that, he would have fought in Vegas, and then he wouldn't have gotten paid. This is stupid. This is dumb. And by the way, this has never happened. I cannot think of a time where one side offered the other side money and the other side said, show me proof of funds. These are all serious businessmen talking here, right? Acting like Al Heyman can't come up with $50 million for this fight. Al Heyman came up with what, like $600 million to make PBC happen? And you're telling me you don't think he could come up with $50 million? Now you guys are not serious here. So by all means, for defaming his character or whatever it is, take it to court then. All right? If it's not true, if you guys want all that, they could take it to court. They're not going to do it because they're bullshitting. All right? When Eddie Hearn said, I got 12 million for Wilder, nobody said, well, let me see the proof. Who's investing in those 12 million, huh? And nobody said that. Nobody said that. This is crazy. Nobody's going to go to prison to make a fight happen. Okay? Like, nobody's going to have Joshua fight and then not pay Joshua what it contractually says he has to get paid. That's just not going to happen. You have to be very, very ignorant to believe that would happen. Okay? I mean, this is insane. Some of you have honestly just been brainwashed. It's like sad to see. Some of you have been completely brainwashed here. By the way, Joe Host, what up? Says, much love from the UK. What up? I'll be reading the comments after this video because I do want to end it, but I find myself explaining things that don't need explaining. All right? You can't send a contract unless you agree to the price of the fight. Exactly. The right thing to do, okay, okay, fine. I say yes. This is what you do, all right? If this would have happened, then I would understand. Wilder says he got $50 million, right? Hearn tweets out, okay, fine, for the $50 million, we'll take it. We'll take that offer. A contract gets sent out, and the contract does not specify that Joshua would be getting a guaranteed $50 million offer. Then we have a problem, right? That's not what happened. And you can't say, well, that would have happened. No, because they didn't accept it. They didn't accept it, right? But the accusation is Wilder didn't have, and his team did not have the funds for that to make that guarantee, right? And they would have sent a contract that said $50 million on the table, and then they have the fight, and then Joshua doesn't get his $50 million. There is a problem there, okay? That's problematic. That's against the law, all right? So like this, I don't know about the UK, but here it is. I wouldn't know exactly where that specifically what crime that would be, but I know that's illegal. It is utter nonsense to tell me, well, there wasn't a $50 million deal because, I mean, he's the Bside. The Bside can't make an offer. That's not an argument. That's not an argument. There was a $50 million deal. And that's it. And one guy, and AJ, if you want to call him A-side, if you want to call him your God, okay, whatever you want to call him, right? Lord AJ, whatever the hell you want to call him. I don't care if you call him the A-side. I don't care what you call him. He turned down that deal. A $50 million guarantee. But you guys want to play shenanigans. You want to play wordplay. Joe's is disappointed. AJ 10, I can't guarantee, but I would bet the house that AJ would take $50 million guarantee fight if the opponent was Big Baby Miller or Stavern. Well, I get what you're saying. I agree. Of course he would. I'm assuming, but yes, I am assuming that yes, he would. It's. Can you picture? Klitschko would have taken it. Klitschko wouldn't have turned. The Klitschkos came to fight in the U.S. for less money than that. You don't think they would have taken $50 million to fight Wilder here? Yes, they would. Yes, they would. They would take the money in a heartbeat. I agree. He did turn it down. Duck Squad. So Hatman's right. He is chasing a chicken. I don't even meant that as an insult. Oh, he's a chicken chasing blah, 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 blah. Well, he has been chasing the chicken around. Apparently. You know, you guys are running out of reasons to justify Wilder running. I'm sorry, AJ running. You know, because Wilder's running after him. The other guy's running away. You're running out of reasons fast. You're running out of excuses. Eddie Hearn is running out of excuses. Eddie Hearn is doing the whole doubling down on lies now. The dude spreads a lie. His supporters parrot it. When it's exposed as a lie, he just doubles down. It's insane. Now I'm hearing things I've never heard about. I've never heard like this argument that Bsides can't make an offer. Like, who says these things? Nobody was talking like that like 10 years ago, right? That's like not a thing. It just isn't. Okay, when a fight isn't negotiated, okay, either side can make an offer, right? Bigger names have gone to other countries to fight because somebody made them an offer they couldn't refuse. Those things have happened, all right? So this charade of, oh, but it can't be this, it can't be that. It's all horseshit. Joho says it's going to come back to bite Joshua in the ass. Yes, it is. All this is going to be exposed one day. A lot of you guys got to stop defending Eddie Hearn. It's going to come out one day. One day, Joshua and Hearn will have a fallout. And when that fallout happens, a lot of the beans will be spilled. It always happens. Like you're making yourselves look like fools for constantly defending this guy. Hot South now, do you think it's AJ Hearn that doesn't want to fight? Well, I talked about it earlier, but I'll touch on it really quick. Look, Eddie Hearn is in the way of making this fight happen. He does deserve a lot of blame. He's a liar. He's a disgrace. He's a lying promoter. He's a snake. So there is blame there, but at the end of the day, most of the blame has to go to Joshua. Because if Joshua wanted this fight, he could tell Hearn, look, I'm not going to fight anybody else. I want to fight Wilder. That's it. Then the fight would happen. All right? Whether all because he's being manipulated. Way too many excuses being given for Joshua here. Way too many excuses. I did it for a while. I said, yeah, well, I think it's Eddie Hearn that doesn't want it. Joshua wants it, but Eddie Hearn is manipulating him. At some point, he has to take the blame. And if we keep, promoters have no problem, okay, at all. Promoters don't mind people talking shit about them. Promoters don't care. People don't like them, right? They're not in the business for people to like them. Promoters don't give a shit about all that. Now, they do care about their fighters' image because that's to them, that's their moneymaker. So the more we keep, attacking Hearn, doesn't mean we shouldn't. We should call him out when we have to call him out. And the more we bail out Joshua by saying, no, well, it's all Eddie Hearn. It's Hearn's fault, not Joshua's fault. The more we do that, it works to Eddie Hearn's favor, right? So blame does have to be put on Joshua. And you're welcome. Intellect says, Wilder doesn't want the fight, and this is why he says he doesn't want the fight. He admitted it in an interview. Now, did Wilder admit it? No. He was quoted saying, I had the opportunity to fight AJ, but he slipped up and tried to change that shit. So DStyle, just a minute ago, when I was talking, I slipped and I said, Wilder's running, right? And I said, I'm sorry, AJ's running. So because allegedly Wilder slipped up, you're getting one sentence out of the guy. Oh, he slipped. He exposed himself, like right there, right? But AJ can say, I'm going to make the guy wait. AJ can say, I'm in no hurry to make this fight happen. AJ and Hearn can completely contradict each other for the reasons that the fight isn't happening. That can happen nonstop, okay? You can have one guy come out and completely decline a $50 million offer, but that doesn't prove anything. No, because allegedly Wilder slipped in the sentence, right? He's to blame, and he doesn't want the fight to happen. You can't make this shit up. I can't even believe that argument was just presented to me. But what are you going to do? Intellect 1, 2, 3 isn't much of an intellect, unfortunately. Not with those type of arguments. Not with those type of arguments. Right? With that said, I did say about 10 minutes ago I had to go, and I do have to go. All right? Intellect again, calling it. Look at them. They're doubling down. They're tripling down. Oh, it's an imaginary 50 million. Right. This is insane. This is crazy. You can't make this shit up. You just can't. Somebody told him, you're working hard, overtime, keeping AJ's nuts warm. Take a break. AJ and Hearn are cowards. Luck off. Exactly. Right? I already addressed all these things you said. So I'm not going to be repeating myself over and over again just because you decide to double down, triple down on something that just isn't true. Right? A lot of you guys are just saying things that they're embarrassing. Eddie just asked $1 million question, or the $50 million question. Should AJ take the fight if the money's real? Never once have I heard Hearn say, well, I don't know. I suspect that it's not real, but like if there's no way to find out if it's real. And then, but he's never said, but if it's real, I'll take the fight. He's never said that. No, all we got was, no, I'm not going to sell my soul. My fans deserve to watch me in the UK. It's not about the money. It's about the fans. And then people believe this crock of shit. Wilder's offering AJ monopoly money, he says. Eddie has actual money. Wilder's team don't have $50 million to be spending on a fighter that's got a net worth of only $16 million. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. You can't make this shit up, right? He won't answer the question. If the money is real, because according to you, it's not. If the money's real, if you don't answer this question, I'm going to kick you out of the chat. Okay? You have to answer this question directly. I don't want to run around, right? Answer the question directly or you're gone. If the money's real, I understand you're claiming it's not, but if it's real, should he take the offer? No, Joe, we're not going to go back and forth. I already told him what he needs to answer, or he's gone. It's a real simple question. And if he gives me the runaround, he's gone. And that's it. I'm not going to play these games. But when it gets down to get into the nitty gritty, all right, You're not going to start filibustering me in my own chat. You're going to answer my question. All right. Notice how he's taking way too long to answer. Yes is all he has to type. If the answer isn't yes, then everything he's arguing is pointless. Right? He's calling the money imaginary. His claims are imaginary. Look at this. He still hasn't answered the question. It's the simplest question ever asked. It's simple. It's a real simple, direct question. And he still hasn't answered it. Do, 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 do. This guy shot down with a very simple question. They don't want to answer that question. Well, it's honestly, it's a simple question. If the money is real, then go for it. But fuck the if or maybes. Where's the proof? You are speculating, he says. It's pointless lip service argument until you can demonstrate the money is there. What do they have to do to demonstrate that the money is there to you? Answer that question. What, do you want the money like in briefcases on TV or what? What do you want? What do they have to do to prove that the money is real to you? Like, who does Eddie Hearn have to say that it's real or what? Like what? Tell me right now. You tell me. So somebody kick him out. Somebody with a wrench kick this guy out. Kick him out. He's done. I'm done with him. Kick him out. Right? I haven't kicked somebody out in a while, but I'm done. Right? Okay, just like that. We're not going to play these games. Right? Oh, yeah, answered the question. No, you didn't. I just asked you right now. If you said it in another comment, I didn't read it. Right? The what if? But I don't want to play what if. You know, I want this. I want that. Right? It's a wrap for your ass. Okay? It is a wrap for your ass. It took you forever to answer a simple question. If the money's real, would he take it? Yes. But it's not real, though. Like, shut up. Right? What do these guys want Wilder to do? Like, do they want Wilder to, like, jump off a parachute? Right? What do they want? Can somebody look? What was? I don't know if this could be looked up or not. But this whole idea that, so now, look how dumb this is. So now, if your net worth is so much, you can't make an offer that's more than that, because apparently they think Wilder's going to reach into his pocket and pay or something. I mean, this is stupid. This is insane, right? McGregor didn't have that net worth before he fought, Mayweather. Mayweather didn't have that net worth before he fought Pacquiao. Many fighters weren't worth a certain net worth when their promoters made a big offer. Povetkin wasn't worth the 20-some million, okay, that his promoter offered for Klitschko to fight him in Russia. You see how easily these things could be debunked? Some people are just, honestly, they're just fucking retarded. All right? It's retarded 1, 2, 3, not intellect 1, 2, 3. With that said, guys, my text is getting bombed here because I'm going to go watch Jurassic World and all that. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll out right here. Okay? Joe Host, Eddie Hearn have to show proof? No, we're men. We don't take the piss when it comes to money because we know money talks. Yeah, because Showtime and Al Heyman, they're all just lying, right? I already told you guys, if Eddie Hearn feels strongly about that, if he's serious about that, he could take it to court, defamation of character if he wants. But he's not going to do that because we all know it's horseshit. Okay? Al Heyman came up with 10 times more of that money to make PBC. And you're telling me you don't think he could come up with 50 million. This is absolutely insane. Okay. With that said, this is DStyle. Peace out, guys.